Hey guys, it's Davius Minimus again, streaming some Amulet. This time in the Modern Challenge, it's due to start in a few minutes' time. Just as a heads up for people here, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be sort of pausing this stream, this recording, in between rounds. The rounds always go the full 50 minutes, and I don't particularly want to sit here once we finish our game. Just going to go see if Mr. Hoogland is... I've obviously spotted he's playing, so I'm just going to go see what he's playing. Not overly clear at this point. It's probably irrelevant, but yeah, it's interesting to see what people are doing today. Pascal Maynard's playing. It's always a pretty good standard of these modern challenges, so that's it's good to test yourself against these people. I myself, I'm not really sold on my list at the minute. I feel like I'm in limbo on a lot of cards, including this package. These 6 cards I'm really sort of back and forth on, really. And as you can see, because I'm running 2 Explore, I've cut on his user. So I'm not 100% sure that this is right, but I'm going to give it a go today. I probably prefer not to be testing my deck in a 25 ticks event, but I really didn't want to sort of grind a bunch of games today if I didn't have to. So yeah, I'm just going to run it. We can see it as a bit of a test, but also I'm hoping to go well. It'd be great to top 8 this thing again. But obviously you can't run hot all the time, so we'll just see how it goes. Myself had a few to drink last night. Been taking things pretty slow today, so and I'll be honest, I do notice my play, specifically in paper, gets a lot worse if you're just not feeling up to it. I know the pros write about this from time to time about getting enough sleep, having food and drink available, and things like that. And it actually is a thing. I've gone to paper events, not had food and drink with me, and not had time in between rounds, and the play just gets a lot sloppier. And it's it's definitely a thing where you should try and be in the best frame of mind if you're going to a big event, for definite. So yeah, I don't know how much it's going to make a difference here, but just got a message from a fellow Amulet player who's playing the full 4 relics main, as well as Grove the Burn Willows. So here we go. Let's get this game on the go. Sometimes it's a little slow to start. People might have clicked to join this half an hour ago, whatever, and then not realise that the event's starting. Yeah, let's see if we can figure out what he's doing. I mean, that was a month ago that he was an Eldrazi Tron. My current build is slightly better against that deck because Explore doesn't get beat by Chalice on 1, so that's a good thing. I could quite happily trim a couple of scouts and be okay because I've got the Explores. The relics are not good in that matchup, but let's just see if the guy turns up. We could have a buy on our hands. Who knows? So yeah, like I say, I'm going to record all 7. I think we're on 7 rounds. How many players have we got? 55 matches. So 110 players. 110 players is 7 rounds. And he's here, and this is light on lands. It wouldn't be impossible to draw out of it. I'd probably keep this if it had a Stirrings. The cursor does help us hit land drops. I'd have to find a bounce land basically in the next 2 turns. So I will ship it. This actually doesn't do anything. If I keep this hand, I really need him to be a control deck basically. So I'm going to ship it as well. This is worse than the other 2 hands, but I don't really like going to 4 in this deck. We're going to need a Titan at some point, but I just need land drops at the minute. We might be able to get away with it. Okay. A bounce land actually would make this hand, particularly Simic Growth would be better, but I was about to say would make this hand pretty good, but that Ghost Quarter is a bit of a problem actually. I would say we are 90% likely to lose this game. Is this a Chalice on 1? It is. Okay. I don't really know if I want to play this Teleria West, but I'm going to. The question is, if I draw a bounce land, it's right to play it. If I draw a untapped land, it wasn't, because I could transmute it. And down comes a Matter Reshaper. So he's sort of got a clock. He's got all my 1-drops in my hand are now useless. The best card I could draw here is probably the Cursor of Crefix. If he thought not, it's obviously the Pact to Negation that's going. He's got a bit of a clock on now, so I'm going to name the card that I want to draw. I'm not really sure why he's taking his time over this. Okay. I mean, we need a lot to go right now. We probably need, an Engineered Explosives on 0 would be useful. Another Thought Knot. Okay. Yeah, we're in trouble. In fact, so he's got 7, 8, 9. Yeah, he's got lethal. I'm not going to show him the Explore, not that it particularly matters, but I'm not going to show him it. I'm going to take out a couple of packs, because if he chalices on 0, it's annoying. We're going to bring in an Engineered Explosives and a Vex Sage. Ghost Quarters questionable. Tireless Tracker I want. Hornet Queen I want. Balaf is questionable. Hornet Nest is questionable. Dismember is very good. I don't want a couple of the scouts because I've got Explore. And I don't want the relics because they're basically useless. So if we're bringing in the Ghost Quarter, we're going to be taking out the Cavernous Souls. And I'm okay with that because I've got less requirement for green early, so that's good. The Ballista actually doesn't really deal with a lot of their stuff. You know, getting that up to 4 to kill a Thought Knot is quite hard work. So yeah, I think I'm okay cutting that. So I want to make one more cut. I don't want to cut any more ramp cards. These are all staying. These are all staying. It's between this and this. And possibly this actually. So I feel like I would cut a Titan if they run things like surgical extraction, which I have to say I have no idea if they do or not. Is it a common sideboard card? It is. So I'll cut a Titan. Just gives them slightly less value off the surgical, and it means that, you know, the Balaf does trade with Thought Knots, which is good. So yeah, I'll give this a go. Yeah, sort of questioning whether I wanted to cut 2 scouts, but this hand is fine. It's not exciting, but their clock is pretty slow, and we've got time to set up. So I know they have a clock, but it's not that fast. It's not the fastest deck in the format, and we just want to be able to beat stuff like their chalices. Now, normally I would play Stirrings first in case I want the top 2 cards, but if Stirrings reveals an Amulet, no, that's fine actually. No, I'm going to stick with that. And I'm going to take the Engineered Explosives. Simic Growth would have been useful, but Explosives is very good against their chalices, especially when we've got 2 colourless lands to be able to put this on. You know, we could play this for 1 colourless so that it counters a chalice on 0. It would, yeah, it would get into play underneath the, you know, if a chalice is on 0 and I play it for 1, it resolves, but because I've not paid any coloured mana, it would have 0 counters on it, so I could then blow up the chalice. So yeah, the E is pretty good. Feels like they might be aiming for a Thought Knot next turn. I'm going to keep both of these on top, and I'm going to do it that way. And I'm going to play the Gold Turf, pick up this Sanctum. We're not far off. We've obviously just seen the green-white bounce on. We're not far off putting the E on 4 to blow up Thought Knots. So that's a good option to have access to. So I'm likely just playing the Cursor next turn. Tempted to play the Vex Sage. Yeah, he can't draw a card off it, so I'm getting some good value. And show him a... Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the Vex Sage. It's not likely to slow them down a great deal, but they're not slowing me down either, and I still have the Engineered Explosives. If they play play a Thought Knot now, they were likely taking the EE anyway. So yeah, you know, as predicted, down comes the Thought Knot. If my opponent decides to take the cursor instead, I'm okay with that, except it might suggest... I mean, I think they would have snapped taking the cursor if there was another Thought Knot in his hand, so I don't think there is. Although having said that, if they've got another Thought Knot, they might be worried that there's a white land on top or a black source on top, so yeah, maybe it isn't quite as cut and dry as I thought, so no pun intended. But yeah, let's just see what they take. I think I'd rather they took the engineered explosives and left me with a cursor. We have another copy of EE in here somewhere. It feels like we are losing this first round though, it has to be said. Okay, Explores. For the one card I was fine with them taking, so we'll play the cursor. If there's a land on top, I'm likely going to play it. It does take me off EE next turn, but I just want value. And the gemstone actually lets me EE next turn. It lets me play it, it doesn't let me cast it. So if he has another Thought Knot, I'm going to lose the EE and we'll be slightly behind at that point. I'm tempted to double block, but I'm going to just take it this time. I guess it's going to gain us a little bit of life. There's a chance that he just goes quarters my Ghoul Turf here. We've got a lot of options next turn depending on what my opponent does. Obviously we can rule out Reality Smasher in his hand at this point. And if he doesn't play a Thought Knot, I'm ruling out that card as well. And once we get to that stage, I think... I mean, have they got... And mono brown decks have a way of blowing up in EE? I don't know. Their own EE or Ratchet Bomb, but I don't think that would be a card they'd board in. Yeah, I'm struggling to think what they could have that's not just worth playing out. Yeah, there's the Ratchet Bomb. So, okay. I'm expecting my opponent to go as quarter the Ghoul Turf. Yeah, and I am going to go get the forest. The plan here is to make some mana, play a Sanctuary, pick up the Teleria West, transmute it and go get a Summoner's Pact. I am still not anywhere near casting an Engineered Explosives, but I want to cast and blow it up on the same turn now that he's played the Ratchet Bomb. There's a chance that he ticks it up to go after the cursor, and if he does, I can then play the EE next turn. But we'll just get a Summoner's Pact. I think there's a reasonable chance that he has Surgical in hand at this point. A reasonable chance that there's all his dust in hand as well. Okay, so he is chasing down the 3-drops. Is this a dismember? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I'm not too far away here if I'm casting a Primeval Titan. We are losing the race though. Yeah, so that's fine. Be nice if he'd missed a land drop. No, all their bonkers stuff happens. Well, all his dust is their bonkers stuff, isn't it, really? So, and then Bringer. So we want to see those bits go away. Just have a look in, see how people are doing. So yeah, so this, I think we're in a reasonable position now. So I'm going to play the Ghost Quarter, play as user, and I'm going to play Gemstone Mine and a Slayer Stronghold, and I'm just going to hope that my opponent attacks with the Thought Knot and doesn't realise that I can pump up the Vex Sage. If he doesn't notice that, then we're gonna get a nice bit of value. We have access to Hornet Nest as well, so even if he makes a really sort of threatening board here, we're not too bad. I'm losing his user and Vex Sage next turn. So yeah, with these lands out, he either makes a bad attack or he doesn't attack at all. So, or he just attacks with the Reshaper. But if the Thought Knot's not attacking because we've got this set up, then we're quite happy with that. You know, we're just trying to buy ourselves time to get to the Titans and all the good stuff that come with the Titan, like Hornet Queens. And let's just have a little count up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we were to draw an untapped land or a bounce land now, we'd be able to play a Titan and I don't know. So we should be able to give a Titan haste next turn. We can add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play the Titan. Use this for white. And then pick up a bounce land off the Titan trigger, return the gemstone, replay it, add a red with it, use Slayer Stronghold. So we can get a Titan plus something, which the plus something is probably going to be like a Kalani Garden or maybe even a Ghost Quarter. Probably a Kalani Garden. Maybe Tulare West. Probably, yeah, there's plenty of options there, and so yeah, it really depends what my opponent's doing. Obviously this all goes wrong if he plays a Thought Knot, but we'd worked out that he didn't have one a turn or two ago, so he's dismembering the Vex Sage. That is good for us. I'm going to take this 7 for definite. We actually attack for 8 next turn, so he has to have something. Warping. Let me check the wording on Warping Whale. Counter target sorcery spell. So we'll play this out. Play a Summoner's Pact. Grab a Titan. Play it for 6. So yeah, like we said, we're going to get a bounce land. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think there's a reasonable chance that he's got a Reality Smasher, so I'm just going to get the Radiant Fountain and just try and play it safe-ish. Add a white. If he chooses... okay, great. We got there. It's a bit close, but we got there. Now, that wasn't a particularly good hand, but they're not particularly a fast deck, so so we've got there in the end. I don't think there's any changes I want to make. Maybe an extra scout, but they have plenty of answers to that card. Walking Ballista, Dismember, and Chalice. So I'm going to go Ghost Quarter, Amulet, play Gemstone Mine, play Explore, play Teleo West, play Stone Visions. So that's the plan. Feel like they might be on a Chalice hand. I guess that's better than a Ghost Quarter, so we'll play it. Means I can keep counters on my Gemstone next turn, so I can play Ghost Quarter Explore. Although, one of the ways we can lose this is if they have a lot of mana early. So I'm going to try... I think I'm almost forced to play... Yeah, I'm forced, unfortunately, to play... to use the Ghost Quarter, basically. We could get blown out by a Warping Whale on the Explore, and then he has to have Power Plant, so he doesn't, so that's good. So on his draw step I have to take a land. Right, okay, let me have a look at what they play. Yugi's not overly popular. He can't get to Ulamog mana. I think this is a play so that he has Thought Knot mana, which suggests he doesn't have the Power Plant, which means I don't want to Ghost Quarter. Do I want to dismember the Scion? Or do I want to dismember the Thought Knot when it comes? I think the Thought Knot. Yeah, the Thought Knot, because he's going to play it the turn after. If he goes Power Plant into Ugin, then fair enough. You got me. but this way, you know, we get to, you know, if I'd used the Ghost Quarter, I wouldn't have been able to keep up Dismember. They'd play Thought Knot, they'd take my best card. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this just a Reality Smasher? No, it is a Thought Knot. Quite happy to take 4 damage to not take 4 damage next turn. That's a good draw. He's got to take the Amulet. Just has to. And he hasn't. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How long is it going to take? Right. I'm just going to play this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to leave him. There's a chance that he draws Power Plant. If he top decks the Power Plant, I'm in trouble, but here comes a Smasher, so I'm slightly behind now, so I'm going to be forced into doing something, but we've got so many live top decks, there's got to be a good card coming soon. And that's a good card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seven mana, plays a Titan, which could get me, yeah, so 7 mana. The main issue here is actually that the Slayer Stronghold isn't in my deck, but if I make 7 mana, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, play that, get a Titan, go to 1 mana left, grab 2 Simic Growths, which will add 8 mana, plus the one that I've got left, gives me 9. I pick up the Slayer West, transmute it, get a Summons Pact, play another Titan, get Boris Garrison and Vesuva. Yeah, we've won. I hate doing this maths anyway. I hate the fact that I could miscount, but I also hate it more when I'm on the mics, it's got to be said. We would get absolutely 100% blown out by a Surgical Extraction here. It feels like he's F6 though. So just remember what we were saying. I want 2 bounce lands. I want to leave Boris Garrison in there. We have to leave the Slayer Stronghold in play, obviously. It's just the one Summoner's Pact left. Copy that, please. Now, this is where, yeah, so Modo could have bugged out and not let this, made the receiver copy untap first, but it hasn't, so we're in a good spot. I'll pick this back up. Attacking. So I only need to give one of them double strike, so I will just get there's no harm in getting these, so we'll get these first. Pick it up. So now Sun Home plus any land. Gives them both double strike. So, oh, that was close. That was very. But like I say, we had a lot of live top decks. Summoner's Pact, Primeval Titan, Azusa. They were all live top decks. And just given another turn, we would have got to do that anyway. So great, that's the first game out of the way. There's a good 15 minutes left of the round, so I'm gonna shoot off and come back again soon. So yeah, good start. See you soon. Bye.